welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Painting Happy Little Mini.
Hello.
Woo! And I'll change our views so that we're all in our lovely framed faces now. Welcome to Painting Happy Little Mini.
There's not enough of us quite yet.
I know, yeah.
Some more epic waiting music. I know, right? It sounded like Painting Little Minis meets Game of Thrones. I wasn't quite sure what that would be.
Yeah.
If it were to happen.
I was thinking that if I was ever to be riding through a desert on a camel, that was the music behind it. Go back to that music again.
Yeah.
The vocal kicked in. I was like, yes, I want to see you. Like,
it was impressive.
I kind of forgot that the singing happened, so it was a good time. We enjoyed. I found that song like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, we're gonna make this the Happy Hangout theme.
I love it. I feel like we need to film an opening sequence. I feel like that would be really fun.
On camels in a desert.
Yes, we'll just illness. Well, I mean,
that would be so amazing.
Very fantasy-esque.
I love it. Well,
I unsheathed the
painting
brush.
Welcome to Painting Happy Little Minis. My name is Leona. I'm one of the editors at Game Trade Media, and with me today we have Gretchen Settle and Dave Taylor, hosts of Painting Happy Little Minis, and we're here on Hobby Hangout, hanging out in our houses, in our corridors, in our dungeons?
Basement.
Caves.
Caves. And we are going to be painting minis and chatting and having a good time. So make sure that you grab your mini paints, grab your wet palettes if you like, and join us as we paint minis, discuss mini painting and anything and everything about the mini painting hobby. So how are you all tonight?
Us?
Yeah.
Oh, doing pretty good.
Good. Good stuff.
Us, them, no, technically.
Oh, no.
Yeah, now I can point to the chat. I don't know which way, but.
So, Gretchen, what are you painting tonight?
So I am continuing on this journey, this giant gargantuan, you could say, journey with my frost giant. So I know it doesn't look different. If you compare each episode, when I show this, it looks different.
Yes.
But pretty much all I have left to paint on this guy for, like base colors and all that kind of stuff is all of the little tiny hidden detaily things. So we have, the ropes on his shins and whatnot. We have all of the weapons that are sticking out of him everywhere. This big chunky bit here with his battle axe. And then the whole thing will have a base coat of paint.
Nice.
And then from there, I'm going to pick out some things that I think should be highlighted with more detail. And then I have to get the base from Leona. And then I'm going to put some snow with glitter. We're going to do it. We're going to prove Dave wrong. It's going to look beautiful. It's going to
happen. Awesome. I'm excited.
Dave believes in me. He doesn't believe in glitter, but he believes in me.
I believe in you. I have enormous faith in you. I do not have as much faith in glitter, but enormous faith in you.
Good.
It's going to look beautiful, like freshly glistening snow.
I'm excited. I am very excited. Real quick, I just want to shout out to people in the chat, and then Gretchen, we can pull up your pictures that you took earlier, starting with your cat, because I have that one first.
He's right here.
He's right there. So I just wanted to say hi to Sumkey, hi to Chris Cox, JT, and Betsy. Thanks for joining. Also, Sumkey asked, what were the lyrics to that song? I don't know. I think it was just, vocal singing.
It's camel summoning.
Yes, actually, that is true. Ancient camel summoning. Hello to Sean. Thanks for joining. And also Jason, good evening. Happy little painters. And Hobby Cave sounds more cool. I would agree. Welcome to our Hobby Cave. which is great. So let's jump over to the pictures that Gretchen sent over to me.
Calcifer was helping.
Yes.
Helping.
First, we have featured Calcifer. This is an awesome photo. Sorry, I've seen the shock of it went away, but this is a great photo. If anybody needs to know, minis can have multi-uses, different games, different adventures.
Different chew toys.
Different chew toys. So Gretchen said this one, it's very cute. Her cat was upset that
I took it away. I placed it near him. I don't know. He's being obnoxious. He's sleeping right now, so hopefully, knock on table, that just stays and he doesn't get into mischief.
Yes, hopefully. So this is a more close-up of your mini that you painted so far, and you definitely can see the detail that you've added in the bottom, because the last picture that we saw, these were all black.
Yep.
So, yeah. And look at his feet. Oh, no.
Yeah. That's all frostbite feet. That's not the black of the mini. That's all frostbite feet.
His feet are about to fall off.
It's fine.
He's doing fine. He's doing fine. So this is the front, and then this is the back of him from what you have done so far, which again, you can see that you've added more detail with the browns and also the fur. And I didn't realize that there's actually a little head here.
Yeah, so all the fur, that's all wolf. Wolf or bear skins. I'm not quite sure. I think the more I look at them, the more I'm like, it's a wolf.
Okay.
So I'm going to treat them like wolves. Yes.
And are you going to go back and add a wash to these or anything like that?
Yeah. So once I get the base colors all down, and then I've officially put paint on every single spot on this mini, not missed anything, then I'm going to go back through and I'm going to pick out a bunch of details. So I'm going to add a bunch of details, not a ton to the fur, but I'm going to make the fur a little bit more fur-like.
Okay.
And if I can find a reference picture of what I intend to do with that for the wolves, I will. But I'm going to add a little bit of gray at the tips of the fur, some dry brushing with that, and then probably some kind of wash just to sink into the crevices of all of that fur.
Yeah.
And then I'll go through, probably spend a lot of time on this axe to make that really shine, because I feel like that's an important detail-y bit.
Nice.
Sean says, hope the cat didn't damage it. He didn't. This is big. So my cat is also big. Nothing. This is not like a very mini, and he tried to just chomp on the end, and then he realized it was not food, and he couldn't. It's too big for him to just smack. So he was just like, well, why would he give this to me?
Yeah. Makes sense. He's like, get this out of my face. Bites.
That's not eatable. It's
like, this tastes like mini paint. Disgusting.
The dog's eating watercolors.
Mini paint tastes disgusting.
The cat's just a brush licker. The cat just knows what's up.
Yeah.
Also, hello to Thomas. Thanks for joining. And also James. Hello. Welcome. If you are watching and you just joined, we are doing Hobby Hangout. So we're all at our respective places painting. Gretchen is continuing work on the Frost Giant that she's been working on the past couple weeks. And Dave is going to be working on...
I'm working on the Plague Marines that I was working on last week.
Nice.
So...
Ding, ding, ding.
Beautiful.
So this guy's almost done.
Nice.
Which is cool. He's the champion of the unit. So I have him. I have just... I don't know if you can see on the sword there and on his sort of the silver medals.
Yeah.
I have just put a like a thinned red leather wash.
Yeah, I do.
Rust kind of effect. So I'm going to... I think there are some areas where I'll go and add a little bit more to it to really pump that up a little bit. But yeah, so coming along, those are
cool.
looking good. I I was very lucky on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday.
Oh, bless you.
I received a restock package from Ironheart Artisans of the Broken Toad brushes that I like. So
Oh, nice.
I'm now using a fresh brush. Fresh brush. Check it out.
Whoa!
So pointy.
Fresh brush in the chat. Fresh brush.
Does that taste better than the old brushes?
Pardon?
Does it have that new brush taste?
No. Has no texture.
It's off the vine.
It's a very different texture to a brush that you've been using for like 6 months.
Okay.
It's
Right.
it's
soft.
It's much smoother, silkier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
And then I do have a picture of the minis that some of the minis that you completed since last week.
Yep.
Did you want to take a look at those?
So yeah, let's pull those up.
Cool.
There we go. So that's taken on my desk, sort of over here. So it's a little bit bright in the corner there. But the fun part for these was after doing all of the bone, the green, the sort of the pinky fleshy bits for the nurglings and that kind of thing, was to go along and paint everything else in black. So all of anything that was going to be metal or black or dark brown or that kind of thing was all painted black. It takes a while.
Okay.
It was really nice to have a new fine brush so I could get those edges and paint all of those in.
Yeah.
The guy on the right there.
This guy?
Yep. So since I took that photo, I did some work on him. So if I want to switch back to that. So he has all of these strange mushroom growths.
Nice.
Up there. So I painted those up with to sort of match the ones on his base. Quite nice and bright. So the next things that I've got to do on this guy, I've got to do the red leather wash to give that sort of rusty effect on the silvers. And then last week, I think I said I was going to do those sort of big boils on his chest.
Okay.
In sort of like a bone sort of color, but I was mistaken. The way that I do them on this scheme is they're bright green. So it'll be dark green going to sort of bright green, ready to burst. And all of the ichor that's dripping from the weapons and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That sort of
absolutely disgusting. But wonderful.
Wonderfully disgusting.
Ugh. My face the whole time, even though it wasn't on the camera, was
like a cat with a hairball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
nice.
That's what I'll be working on this week.
Awesome. Very cool. I want to jump over to the chat real quick because some people have been joining and saying hi. Hello to Kirk. Greetings from New York City. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Love Gretchen's choice for a painting project. I just acquired the same amazing figure last week. Looking forward to seeing how further along it goes. Yes.
Isn't it fun? It's so many details.
So many details.
You could play an I Spy game with this. You could keep a young child entertained for hours.
With epic encounters. Because you've been working on that for this is like your third episode working on it?
Episode. Yeah, I think the better way to think about it is episodes, because if you say like weeks,
not weeks.
Working on it.
No, but it is your third episode working on it. So yeah, it definitely has been taking that whole time. So Kirk, we would love to be able to see what you've done. Post it up. We have a Facebook group called Painting Happy Little Minis where you can join, and people post minis and things like that. So if you're interested, check it out. I'll leave the link in the description, and yeah, we'd love to see your mini and see what you're doing different.
That'd be cool.
Also, Thomas says, it's been too long. Miss seeing you guys. Thanks for joining. It's been, we're here every Thursday, painting away, sharing the joy in the hobby. Let's see. JT said, okay, I've been using the Artist Opus series brushes, and I'm loving them. A bit pricey, but worth it.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to kind of wrap around to that comment because I have a question about brushes.
Oh, sure.
Also, hello to Dave Shrump. Thanks for joining us. Good evening, everyone. It's been a while since I caught a live stream. Yay.
Excellent.
Yeah, we've changed our time, so it's a little harder for people on the West Coast. I do understand. So thanks for joining. It's great. It's great to have you. What have you been painting? Tell us what you guys have been painting in the chat, and then I can talk about what I'm painting tonight. We would love to know if you guys are painting along with us, if you have paints out in front of you, or you've painted something this weekend, last month. It doesn't matter. Let us know what you guys are working on. James said, I have got 2 more toy ships that I'm using for Black Beauty.
Excellent.
Nice.
Very cool.
Is that like they're gonna be attached to the bigger ship?
I don't know.
I'd be interested to know.
Yep.
Jason said Griffin is the current project. Nice. Very cool. We love a good feathered animal. Right? Griffins have feathers, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm wrong in that. So I'm working on
What are you doing?
this little guy with a blurry picture. So this is Arkin the Cruel from This is Arkin the Cruel from Gale Force 9.
Yep.
From their newer D&D series, and it's actually like tied to Joe Manganiello, which is kind of interesting and fun. These are like characters that he kind of helped create. And yeah, I was trying, so you can see last week Dave told me to do this thing where I did light edging and then like tried to make a darker panel on the armor to do non-metallic metal. And I would say I wasn't so successful. So this week I'm actually going to go probably back in and paint over some of that white and then put a flat gray color in the middle of the panel to try and give some definition between the dark part and the dark tone, mid-tone, and then light tone. So
yeah. I think the key thing to think of is don't think of the edge as all being light.
Okay.
Just think of the edges like that's where the lightest part is going to be. It's where it's going to the light is going to catch on those lips more.
So I don't need to outline it. I should just put some.
Yeah, just like highlight up to it. So you can start with like a mid gray and go up to a white, and then in the panels, similar sort of thing. So when you're holding the model, pick a spot where the light is going to come from.
Okay.
Could be from like in front, 45. Usually like 45 degrees is a good angle for it to come in at.
Yeah, like this.
Feel kind of like
yeah.
yeah. To have it come in so you'll know you got an idea of where the closest points or the points that are going to be caught most by that light.
By the light. Oh, so then I'll paint what's hitting the light first. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd give that a go.
Cool. Thank you.
No worries.
I've been a little struggling, partly because this mini is being painted in association with the minis that Dave and Gretchen painted on the show, and they painted their minis in this set with only 5 colors. And I am trying to replicate that, which is very hard for a beginner.
But hopefully fun.
Definitely fun. And in some ways, like, it makes things easier because I'm not actually like choosing a lot of colors. I'm just like, okay, blue for the coat, a brown color for the skin, and gray for the armor. Like, I'm not trying to be fancy here. So
that's good. Very cool. Yay.
So Dave, last week you talked about a project, a Kickstarter that you were about, like, it was like 12 hours later you were gonna like say live to your Kickstarter, and now we're a week back. We're a full week almost
a full week of the Kickstarter running, and it's been going great guns. Very excited.
Woo!
So it is the art of series of books, and my tagline for it is a series of books about wonderful miniatures art. So, but basically, I'm working with 5 different artists to create 3 different books about their very cool miniatures art. So, very excited and how it's going. We're at, what is the number? We're like
54980.
Hmm?
54980.
54980. That's a big number. That's a lot of numbers.
Wow.
Big number made up of lots of smaller numbers. But so we're closing in on 300% funded.
Wow.
We just crossed over 700 backers today. So and we have 2 weeks to go. So,
woo, woo.
very exciting. We've taken the books from softback to hardback through stretch goals. Increase the quality of the what do you call it? My mind's gone blank. The paper.
The quality of the paper.
Yeah, the interior paper. We have added ribbon bookmarks to the books.
Yay.
We've got some cool add-ons there. Actually, if you can scroll back up a little second.
Yeah.
There we go. So we have a set of 6 art cards from the Miniature Monthly team.
Nice.
Which are cool. We've got a sheet of gaming tokens that are designed by Anna Blanchuk, which is super cool. And we have a massive poster based on a really cool diorama that Christoph's done, which is an homage to the cover of Warhammer 40,000 3rd edition. So
oh, nice.
definitely cool stuff there. But yeah, you're about to scroll into the stretch goals. So
funded.
I love that funded. I love putting that up. Great. But we are also at the point where everybody who pledges like for $20 or more is getting 3 different, or actually, yeah. So when we get the next $20, it'll pass the 55,000 threshold. And that 3rd tutorial PDF from Aaron Lovejoy will be funded.
Woohoo!
So everybody gets those for free.
Very excited.
Super cool. But it is really exciting. Very very excited to see where we can take this series. So
yeah.
I've already got certainly over the last week I've had quite a few suggestions given to me for future volumes. I already had a short list in my head.
Oh, nice.
And I got to talk actually on Saturday night. I got to talk to my buddy Brad Moran, who runs a podcast out of Australia, who has, unbeknownst to me, he's been watching us on YouTube repeats.
Oh.
So, and when I mentioned that the first time that Gretchen had painted a miniature was on the show, he was like, "No way." No, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
But so yeah, he was super excited about the show, and we talked about that for like 20 minutes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. It was neat.
That's really cool. You're like, oh, fan of the show.
But no, it's definitely cool. So shout out to Brad. He's gonna watch.
Shout out. Thanks.
That's
we appreciate you.
The Cast Dice podcast. But he does a it's kind of funny. He's an American.
Okay.
Who lives in Australia. He moved to Australia. I'm an Australian who lives in America. We crossed
powers combined.
Yeah. We were roommates for about 6 months.
Oh wow.
While he was still here, and like after I moved over.
Is his name Dave?
No, that's a different.
Okay.
I have another roommate.
What's the opposite name of Dave?
I have another guy who was a roommate. I was roommates with for like 2 years.
Okay.
Who's Canadian? He's Canadian. He's back in Canada now. But
that's awesome. So if you guys are interested in finding out more about Dave's Kickstarter, I did put the link in the chat. So make sure you check it out. Share it with people who you think would be interested in joining the project. It's going to be really exciting. I'm excited about it. So, yeah.
It's definitely cool. Each of the books is about probably 35 to 45% written.
Nice.
So very excited by that. So hopefully we can, basically I'll have a very busy summer of layout. Is what
right.
editing and layout for a summer. That's
Right.
it. No beach for me.
No beach summer.
You don't bring it to the beach?
I could
With
edit.
a laptop, set up a little umbrella.
Yeah, I gotta get a little hood so that I can the bright light around it isn't too bad. But yeah, I would definitely take my computer to the beach. That'd be the way to go.
That would be awesome. No, we're really excited. I was super excited to see that it had funded, and then all the upgrades are continuing. So it just is great. It's an awesome project. Definitely check it out. And Dave has helped out with some other books as well. So on Kickstarter, so seasoned Kickstarter veteran we have here. So definitely worthwhile to. Don't worry, guys.
And I think this year I have backed 3 or 4 book projects on Kickstarter already.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I was scrolling through mine and I looked at the community tab, which tells you where people are coming from. So I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, most people coming from the United States. There's 51 people from Germany. That's fun.
Oh,
and
awesome.
One of them was like, oh, here are some other Kickstarters you might like. And I was like, well, that book looks cool. Click. That book is cool.
And back.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Definitely fun stuff. But yeah, so that's why I haven't finished these guys, because I've been focused on that and doing updates and
that's fair.
busting the F5.
We can understand.
Refresh.
It's just stuck.
Yeah. Indeed.
I'm just going to jump into the chat real quick because some people have been talking about what they're painting currently. Dave is currently painting the Crimson Court for Warhammer Underworlds.
Oh, awesome.
Very cool.
Very cool. And yeah, I'm looking forward to picking those up next week.
Betsy said, I'm working on the second of the 2 Shellwalkers from Horizon Zero Dawn, but at the moment I'm cooking dinner for the family. Cool.
Multitasking. That's what that is.
Painting,
Can't paint on an empty stomach.
paint and cook, but don't
I
cook
had
the
a mango before we started. That's
There you go.
Yes.
Oh, and James answered my question. They are escorts for the bigger ship and scouts for the fleet. That's what the smaller boats are.
New boats.
Very cool.
Very cool.
JT said, I'll be starting on a couple Castellan robots? Castellan robots for a new commission. Very nice.
Excellent. Those the Castellan robots are robots from Games Workshop that look like sort of space robots from outer space. Would have looked like in a 1950s movie.
Oh, okay.
And, very, very sort of interesting domed heads, and
Okay.
they got a very retro sci-fi vibe.
Okay. Interesting.
They're fun. Cool.
Oh, apparently Joe created the first character on Critical Role at the end of their first campaign. Oh, that's what one of these Gale Force 9 characters are from. When I was talking about that. Kirk says, I'm working on a massive paint project of the 60 minis from the Cursed City recent release. I'm 70% of the way there. I'll post a pic shortly. Whoa! Awesome.
That's very cool. Those minis are beautiful.
That is really cool.
There's when I eventually get around to painting those for my set,
Yeah.
maybe painting them as part of an army project. Me and 3 other friends are going to play in the team tournament at Adepticon next year.
Nice.
And we've been talking about how we're going to do it. And there's a guy who posts either as like both as Kenneth Tan and Paul Tan. So you might see him in different Facebook groups or YouTube channels, that sort of thing. But he has a fantastic YouTube channel, and he's been doing awesome painting in those where he has like a red glow coming from like the ground up onto the minis, and it looks fantastic. I'll try and find it.
Is it a painted red glow, or is it just like the lighting in his...
It's a painted red glow.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's awesome.
He does so he primes the models black, sprays this like this intense red ink up from sort of underneath, and then sprays white from the other side, and then essentially paints the like 3/4 of the model, while the other quarter of the model is in that red glow.
Okay.
It looks Amazing.
That sounds really cool.
Very cool.
I like anything that plays a lot with like light
Cool.
and such.
I got you, Kirk.
Okay, I was gonna.
Gretchen, you got him?
Okay, yeah, Kirk. I think all of us saw your message at the same time, and I was like trying to like get it up while Dave's talking. I'm so sorry. So don't worry. I think we got you. You should be good now.
Approved times 3.
Cool.
Sean said the books are going to be nice. Yes, very excited for those books.
Indeed.
Lady B says, "Wow, you're live."
Sometimes
We're live. Yeah, we play a lot of reruns just because I figure, why not, like, to have it just going on our Twitch.
Right.
So we are live always on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's when you can catch us. Woohoo! For 2 hours. And so glad you were able to join us.
I forget people can watch us when we're not here.
Yeah.
Like I forget that we have the like I know, but I forget. I'm always like, oh, right.
Nice. It is true. It's like, oh yeah, caught you on a rerun.
I'm forever in the internet. It's awesome.
That's great. A snapshot of The Witch Hunter. A few more highlights and a fancy base coming soon. Ooh, excited.
Excellent.
Sean said, still working on the Lumineth Wardens and Warbringer Titan. The War Master is in assembly.
Cool.
Nice.
Good. Yeah. Warbringer is looking good, I think. Sean.
Nice.
Very cool.
Also, hello to Dave. Good day
Hey,
to
Dave.
you. Thanks for joining.
Good day. Excellent.
Dave, are you painting some Games Workshop?
Dave Hummel.
Dave Hummel?
Painting some Space Marines. I'm sure. You better be.
If not, I mean, where are we in the world?
One of the things, just quickly, I'm going to show about this. So I'm painting these for a client, and he assembled them all for hand, but he didn't glue them to the base.
Okay. Is that
so
a good thing?
because the bases are quite detailed, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
You can see there the feet.
Oh yeah, there we go.
They're like that's the heels there. So you've got the mini there. If you turn it around, it has no heels.
It's like a Bratz doll. It's like a Bratz doll.
Come on, Dave, you have daughters.
It's a toy.
Oh,
and-
brats.
And basically, like the toy, the weirdest part about them, like their feet could come off, and it would be just that. It would just be pegs. And
Right.
so,
Yep.
like, if you lost their feet, then they would just have peg legs.
Peg legs.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yes, we probably do have some in the house, but I don't think at any point have I tried to take the feet off.
Gotcha. Well, now you know. Fun
Now I
fact.
know. Thank you.
You're welcome. Always here. Keeping it relevant, with the young,
Young hip crowd.
with our young crowd.
Excellent. That's funny.
No, that actually is cool. Well, and I guess that's good. Like, did you ask him to do that, or did he automatically do that?
No, he automatically did that. Yeah. So yeah, it's nice to be able to in and around, because there's otherwise, for example, he has a loincloth behind there.
Oh, okay.
But I wouldn't have been able to get to it because of the nurgling in the way. But then I could pull this guy off the base, and be all good.
And actually be able to paint him.
Yeah. So definitely a cool way to go.
Yes, Dave Hummel said a storm raven.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Excellent. That's looking nice. I'm just going to throw out a little bit of media stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
And show off my new T-shirt.
Ah.
So I don't know if anybody can read it.
Zoom. It said Old Gods of
Appalachia.
Oh, yeah, because that's that podcast you were talking about.
Yep.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if I talked about it or not.
I do remember. I do
I
remember.
can't remember. I know I've spoken to a lot of people about it, so I can't remember who I.
Yeah, tell us again for those who may have not been here.
Actually, I think if Thomas is still in the chat, he probably listens to it, or has listened to it, or should listen to it. One of the two, three. Yeah,
Thomas, listen up.
Something like that. No, I found out about it a couple of weeks ago, and it's super cool. I'm just started second season. There are 2 seasons, and it's basically it's a horror anthology podcast, is how it's described. And it's the idea that the old gods, the elder gods really, were at some point imprisoned below the Appalachian Mountains.
That is an old mountain.
It's in the US, yep. So really old. But of course, over time, the mountains wear down. And the distance between like the surface and where the gods are imprisoned lessens, becomes thin. So he's taken the author has taken sort of real world events and spun them into tales and created characters around them that are
that's really cool.
Yeah. So they're sort of at varying levels of evil, I guess, or supernatural.
Okay.
Or that kind of thing.
Did not get acrylic paint on my work clothes.
That's good. Success.
I love when stories take real world events and like combine them, or historical things.
Yeah.
It's a really fun way to do some cool world building that way. Yeah. There's I don't know if you're familiar with the book called Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell.
I'm not familiar with it.
But basically that takes like Napoleonic time period, and it's actually from they're British, but they take like history and and the author like all the explanations of why things happened a certain way is just because of magic. Like,
okay.
It's just like, oh yeah, it's actually magic that's why, the Spanish couldn't like see the shore and stuff like that. So I feel like that's probably a similar thing where it's like, oh, it's actually the evil old gods like trying to destroy us all. You just thought it was an earthquake, but it's not.
Oh, something much more dangerous.
Is the podcast Lovecraftian in nature? Sounds like it, given the name.
Yeah, it's kind of, there's quite a lot of hinting at things. It's very cool storytelling.
Okay.
And it's what's the word I'm looking for? I posted about it again on a group of a Facebook group that I'm with a bunch of my friends, and one of them was like, "So I guess I'm gonna have to listen to this now." Said, yes, you are. It's not world changing. It's not. That's
really good.
It's just great storytelling.
And, I'm down for that.
Yeah, the guy who does it, who writes it and narrates it, I think he's from North Carolina.
Oh, cool.
Like Western North Carolina, so near Tennessee.
Yeah.
So it has fantastic drawl, and it's like, this accent is very like Kentucky,
very Appalachia,
West Virginia, Appalachia kind of thing, and it's perfect.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely super cool. So check it out. Old Gods of Appalachia.
If you need podcasts, Old Gods of Appalachia.
Yeah.
Also, hello to Lucafio.
Hey.
Thanks for. All I heard was earthquake. No, we were talking about a podcast that Dave recommends. Old Gods of Appalachia, whatever.
He pronounces it Appalachia. So.
Okay, we'll say Appalachia.
He created it, so.
And we will continue.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like now I'm not going to remember. There's this horror podcast that sounds very similar to that.
Okay.
But I will give it a listen.
Yeah. Is the other one called Welcome to Night Vale?
That is a good one. That got super popular for a while.
Yeah. That was for sure.
But I know Welcome to Night Vale. I do know that one, but I actually haven't listened to it.
I haven't listened to it in a long time, but yeah.
I liked Welcome to Night Vale most for the different songs that they would have.
Okay.
And now the weather, and then it'd just be a song. I think the one that gets stuck in my head the most often is Waiting for the Bus in the Rain.
Is that?
That's a song.
Song?
Yep.
In Welcome to Night Vale?
Yep.
I don't remember.
Nice.
Let's go and listen to them again.
Now you're curious. I'm like, I just.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, my mini just fell off the hand.
Oh.
Where did you go, Minnie? That's the thing about these minis. They're so dang small.
Oh my goodness.
Here we go.
There we go. Cool.
For those of you watching, do you guys have any podcasts that you like to listen to or podcasts that are interesting? I'm definitely trying to get back into podcasts. Oh.
Yeah.
Because I don't commute as much anymore. I don't need a long list. But just the other day, I was like, it would be nice to have some good ones. And I'm sorry, but like maybe not every true crime podcast, because that's all Netflix. I mean, not Netflix. Spotify wants to recommend me only the true crime ones, and I'm like, I don't really want to.
I'm good, thanks.
Sean listens to a podcast. It's called Scared to Death, which kind of sounds like the true crime one.
Okay.
I
What's
don't know
Scared to Death about? What's Is it a true horror one?
I do not know.
Mm.
Sean, tell us more. Is it true podcast? Oh, JT says no podcast. Still sticking with the audiobooks, though.
All right, cool.
Can't go wrong with an audiobook, in my mind.
Jason Cole was thinking about the Silmarillion audiobook. Oh my goodness. No.
Ding, ding, ding.
I've now had so many friends come up to me and tell me about whatever was stolen from them as a preteen that they just can't get over. Apparently, that's just like a coming of age moment.
That's so funny. It's a true horror. The Scared to Death is true horror.
Okay. So is it fictional stories, I guess? Or is it, when you say true, is it like
truly horrific?
Yeah.
I don't know, actually, the answer to that.
Right.
Betsy said, I don't listen to podcasts, but I just finished listening to the audiobooks for Brandon Sanderson's graphic novels. Oh, very cool. White Sands 1 and 2. That's awesome.
That'd be very interesting to see how they do an audiobook for a graphic novel.
Yeah.
When it's kind of the two.
Yeah, that is
part of them.
Yeah. Be some good descriptions. Very good descriptions. Interesting.
That's super cool. Betsy, tell us if it was different because it was a graphic novel. To be fair, Brandon Sanderson seems like a person who would have a long-winded graphic novel.
Okay.
Sean says stories based on real life hauntings.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I
cool,
wouldn't be
cool,
able to sleep then.
Ah.
Be too awake. Be like, now everything's a ghost.
Yep.
I specifically got a cat so everything could be a cat, regardless
Aw.
of if my cat is in the room or not.
Yep.
But then no,
It's still a cat.
Have you been reading anything Silmarillion or something completely different? I haven't been reading the Silmarillion.
No.
Reading. I'd have to grab it. I would have to leave my my little spot and go grab the book because I don't know what the title is off the top of my head. But I've been reading a swordsy book.
Swordsy?
Yeah, like a manuscript thing.
Okay.
I have a book that's about mounted combat that I've was gifted.
Right.
And so that has been I've been kind of parsing through it.
That's cool.
I need to like read it and like take notes and be like a smarty pants about it, but I have not had the brain energy to be a smarty pants.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah. I think it's been a long time since I've had to study anything for any purpose. So
I mean, no one's grading me other than like the odd internet stranger. I mean, I like when I post swordsy things up, for the most part, it's like people in the community who know me. So they're like, yay, you're training, versus like some dude bro who's like, excuse me, your form is a form. And like that doesn't really happen to me. It happens to other people, but I'm not a well-known person on the internet. So
right.
I don't gotta worry about that.
We know you, Gretchen.
You do.
That's what
Are you gonna judge me? No.
Only if you are dual wielding.
Only that. Gosh. I will do a video. I have people coming over on Friday.
Yeah.
We're all vaccinated, BT dubs.
Yay.
An important disclaimer there. I will purposely. Well, I could also just grab my fiance, but I will find something to dual wield with just for you guys.
Yes.
Excellent. That'd be great.
We will. I'm excited.
Definitely looking forward to it.
I did actually finish. Did I tell you? I think I maybe said this to Dave before the show last week. Like I did actually finish The Expanse, book one of The Expanse, not the whole series. Sorry, that was. So that's something that I read. It was very good. It was a lot. That book moves like nobody's business, but
yeah,
the first series apparently like moves a lot too. But yeah, it was really good. I probably won't finish the series just because I wanted to move on. I like to usually read like different types of books.
Right.
I don't usually like to read like the same type of book back to back. So I'll probably go back to that series. But yeah, it was really nice.
Excellent. Excellent.
Had a good time. Still not going to read the Silmarillion. That's not going to be a fun read for me. And that's okay. Betsy said, now I'm reading the actual books because I want to know what happens in volume 3. The audio version is better. Oh, that's super cool.
Interesting.
I find that if they're able to get like a really good actor or voice actor to do the reading, it really can make a difference with the.
Yeah.
Because then you read the book and you're like, man, this is kind of boring. It's all good though. Dual wield paintbrushes don't count. Oh, okay. Dual wielding paintbrushes don't count.
I needed one that was dry to set, because I'm using the contrast paints on the non-contrast paints because I realized all I have is silver for like a metallic. So I'm blending things together and getting creative. It's kind of actually working really well. I'll show you guys as soon as I have a large enough chunk.
Yay. So can you explain what you're doing?
So
again?
I don't have I did not grab from our pile of paints
Right.
a darker
Metallic.
colored metallic. So all I have to work with for all of my metal bits is this beautiful silver, and it's gorgeous and beautiful and probably great for paladins and other things, but it doesn't quite have the effect that I would want for all of the well-worn kind of non-polished metals that are going on this frost giant. He has a very Nordic, very Viking-esque kind of vibe, and the highly polished silver just doesn't really give that effect.
Yeah.
So what I have been doing, and I'll see, you can see it kind of on the tip of the axe here. Can you? Kind of.
Yep.
So what I did is I did a very, I did 2 coats of the silver, and then I watered down a black contrast paint, and I put it over a little heavy-handed, and it pooled in all of those indents, right?
Nice.
Which gave a very a much more natural looking effect. So it kind of looks like the rock. It kind of looks like his axe maybe was, carved out of a boulder of some kind.
Okay.
It also vaguely had the appearance of dirty snow, which I liked. The texture was just very good and gritty. And now what I'm doing, and I don't know exactly with the lighting, you can see kind of a little bit of blue in there.
Yeah.
So I'm going back in with a contrast paint that is a Calian green.
Okay. Yeah.
And not blue at all, but it shows up blue, so that's what we want. And I'm dabbing just the tiniest bit of it with my paintbrush in some of those pockets. I guess it's a very stone, it's not stone, but very heavily worked texture.
Okay.
Heavily
Like
carved.
heavily hammered iron.
Yes, heavily hammered iron. So I'm going back into some of those grooves and I'm just lightly dabbing it. And then I'm taking the brush the clean brush that is completely dry, and I'm slowly working that around into more of a gradient. So that I get a lot more of a controlled effect.
Okay.
And that way I'm still retaining a lot of highlights, and hopefully it'll look a little bit like reflection. Because last time after the show, Dave mentioned, wouldn't it be cool if you could reflect some things in there? And I said, well, it's hammered. I don't really know that'll reflect. But I'm gonna see. Right now, I mean, it just looks cool, regardless of if it looks like a reflection or not. It definitely has an icy kind of cool, interesting look to it. So I'm gonna keep playing around with it a little bit, and then I'm gonna go back through with that silver, and I'm gonna highlight some of the dings and edges and bits that would have been a little bit more well-weathered from the wear and tear.
Right.
Yay.
But all the colors are down where they're supposed to be. If it looks like it's black, it's not. It's dark brown. The only thing left really in terms of blocking out paint that hasn't been done is these 2 little guys' heads. There's 2 little poor victims here that did not escape the encounter. And then I left all of the rope black at the moment because that's going to be a finer detail, and I don't want to have to touch anything up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to focus in on his axe right now because I feel like that's a big detail that I really want to look nice in the overall picture of this piece. And then I'll start picking off other little details, and yeah.
Awesome.
That's the plan.
I'm excited.
That's all I got for you guys. That's my one brain cell. That's what I came up with.
Looking good. Yeah, I just want to I had wanted to know a little bit about the way that you were layering the contrast.
I just
stuff like
do
that.
things, and I hope it works.
Looks cool.
I kind of at one point want to use like contrast paints, and this is just from the watercolor side of things that's an interesting technique, and I'm curious how it would reflect because contrast paints are so much more thin. But I kind of wonder with watercolors if you use heavy paints, like very watered down, and then you use a lot of water, and then you put it in the freezer, ice crystals will form, and it will affect how the paint dries. And I'm curious if you were heavy-handed with oh, that's the cat just knocking things down.
The cat was like, this is gone.
I'm curious if I were heavy-handed with contrast paints and then I stuck the mini in the freezer, if that would have a similar effect, or it would be something entirely different, or you definitely have to have a base layer of color already. This isn't something you could like slap on and just do, because then you'd see the primer underneath. But I'm curious. I might do that with a different mini just to see what happens.
Okay. Yeah.
That would be cool.
I will label him Experiment.
Little experiment.
I will call you Experiment.
Number one, it's science if you write it down, right?
My hypothesis is.
Yeah, you got to write the hypothesis down first. After that, you're all good.
Okay, let us take a look-see at some of the minis from our Painting Happy Little Minis group.
Excellent.
So for those of you joining, many of you are our dear friends, so you understand the jam, but I gotta say it. We have a Facebook group called Painting Happy Little Minis, where people of all walks of painting life, mini painting life, various skill and interest, we all join together, post pictures, what we're doing. It's really great. Definitely check it out if you're interested in learning more about mini painting, or just like finding other people who are interested in mini painting as well. And then each week we get some photos from people who have submitted to a link, and we talk about them on the show, because we like to check in, see how people are doing and what's going on in their mini painting world. So today we have Brad Taylor. He was painting a Minotaur from the Lords of Hellas, which is by Awaken Realms.
Cool. That's looking, looking very nice. Quite cool.
Yes.
I love that that Brad's sort of taking some cues from the artwork.
Yeah.
That sort of the red across that sort of left, the Minotaur's right shoulder. So we're seeing it on the left there, looking very cool. And that's a crazy mechanical arm there that in the artwork is
holding.
To dismember that soldier. Crazy, but no, looking really nice. I think that sort of deep brownish black is looking great there for the skin of the Minotaur. Yep. Yeah. Work, Brad. Looking great.
And then also the glowing eyes, and I like how the glowing eyes reflect the glowing in the metal.
Yep. Yep. Middle of the hand there. Definitely cool.
Very nice.
Good work.
Chris Cox with Ubercore, CyberCon, Carnitron, and Robo Brontox.
Wow, that is mouthful.
Old names.
Say that 10 times fast. By Privateer Press for Monster Apocalypse.
Excellent.
Yeah, so it looks like Chris has been painting up quite a few Monpoc
minis. Yeah, looking very cool. I'm liking the so there's the numbering on the.
Oh, here we go. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. On these little plates.
Yep, looking very cool. But very interesting sort of spread of colors, keeping your units very different on the battlefield, so you know who's who and what's what. It's definitely looking good. But yeah, that dinosaur mecha craziness with the with huge guns on the back.
I know this guy.
Yeah. It's very cool. Looking good. And
yeah, was Chris here earlier? Yeah, Chris was here. Chris, are you planning on playing a game soon, or have you played a game with them?
Not sure. But yeah, hopefully we'll paint some Monpox stuff.
Yes.
Soonish on the stream.
Yes.
But yeah, looking really good. Nice work, Chris.
Because I love the figures for that game.
Yeah.
It's very nice. We have a magical eagle from Dave. Shrump.
Yep.
That is really cool. I love the color gradient.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I spelled his name wrong. I'm sorry. I can't fix it, but I can zoom it out.
Really cool. Yeah, check it out. Look at that.
I'm sorry, Dave Shrump.
Yeah,
I figured it out. Whoa, this color. I love the fact that it started with the purple.
Yep. The purple through the red into the orange.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Definitely looking great. And I love the way that the blue was looking, the very bright, almost electric blue against the white feathers, between like where the blue feathers move into the white feathers.
Yeah.
Looking awesome and reflected beautifully in the eyes. Well, not reflected, but echoed in the eyes there.
Yeah.
Very good. And I think those bright, the bright yellows, the purples, the blues are all very the colors you wouldn't expect to see on an eagle.
Mm-hmm.
But bringing those legs through the brown, and then the feet and the beak are very similar to what you'd expect to see on an eagle. So I think it's a really nice sort of juxtaposition there. Very cool. And the base is quite cool too.
Yeah.
Nice paintwork on the base. Very desaturated, so it's not taking away from the eagle at all. But yeah, looking very natural, looking really cool. Check out the varying sizes of the skulls there.
Ew. Teeny.
Yeah.
Bigger, tiny.
I wonder if this is the nest of the eagle.
The eagle's nest.
The eagle's eyrie.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yep. Very cool.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, excellent. Nice work, Dave.
We have, I think I actually, here we go.
Yeah.
Graham with a female enchantress from the Ralpartha series.
Yep. This is looking very cool. Graham's been having a lot of fun, I think, over the last few weeks, painting these up. So, yeah, looking really good. I think that white fabric is looking really nice. And, yeah, I love that gold on the bracelets and the sort of the blonde, the strawberry blonde hair,
right,
which are working well against that, like the purple on the pendant there, and the purplish tones that are in the leggings. But yeah, looking really good. Nice work, Graham.
Yeah, this fabric, as someone who tried to paint fabric last week, this is very nice.
Nice.
Very clean and distinct.
Yeah.
And yes, I cannot imagine doing that with white. I guess you have to use gray or blue gray a little bit.
If you start with the light gray or light blue gray as your mid-tone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can highlight up with the white, with pure white, and then shade with a darker blue gray.
Gotcha. Very cool. Yeah, she looks great.
Nice work, Graham.
Jason with Tabaxi Rogues by WizKids.
Yep. Yeah, these are cool. I must admit, whenever I think of, like, whenever I hear the word Tabaxi, I'm like, oh, okay, that's right, the cat people. I always wonder about the proportions, and like these WizKids models have got that really thin neck.
Yeah.
Thing, and the really they got a fairly thin torso as well.
Mm-hmm.
But then it all picks up in the thighs.
Don't.
But no, these look really cool, and I think even though the fur color for the tabaxis are different and the clothing colors are different, there's a nice use of so the red on
Right.
the right matches
Yeah.
the red on there, the sort of the wrappings around the feet as well
Oh, yeah.
match, the blades as well, and the black.
Yeah.
So having those matching across the piece really connect the two. Yeah, nice work, Jason.
You're right. I didn't think about how they do kind of feel like part of the same team because they have those, especially the red for me is really tying it together. Like the fact that they both have the red right here.
Yeah.
On their gem. Also, hello, Rob Jedi. Thanks for joining.
Hey, Rob.
And he said, such tiny heads, which I would agree. Yeah. But they do look nice. I do agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of the other things I really like is that Jason's on the one on the right there, the around the mouth.
Yeah.
He's lighten that up. Not too much.
Oh, yeah.
Make it stand out. Yeah. Looks very cool.
Very nice.
Nice work, Mr. Colo.
Oh, Rob apparently has just been watching Reaper live. Well, thanks for joining.
Cool, yeah.
Very cool. James Smith with A Sister of Battle by GW.
Excellent. Nice work, James. Yeah, this is looking cool. I like the blue armor isn't an armor color you usually see on a Sister of Battle. I think James has got a whole army of them.
Right.
In that blue. But definitely cool. Yeah, I love the work on the base as well.
Yeah.
Use the contrast colors there to pick out. I think it's probably Skeleton Horde for the sort of the white, the off-white stone there. But then probably Blood Angels red for the icon and the roses in the corner there. But yeah, looking nice. And of course, with a white streak in their hair.
Okay.
That's where it's at.
Are these details usually bronze or gold?
It would depend. Sometimes they're silver, sometimes they're white.
I like the bronze. I think it works well with the blue.
It does, yeah. It's definitely a good choice.
That's a smart detail.
Yeah.
With the yellow, with the gold, it almost might. I feel like you really see the blue with the bronze detail.
Definitely, I agree.
Very nice.
James looks great.
JT.
Yes.
With Cataphron Destroyers.
So I think JT has been working on these for a little while. We saw the basing. I think we saw the basing that JT
Yes.
Either last week or the week before.
Yes.
With the multiple textures on there, and you can see them up close now as well. But that sort of the orangey reddish texture around to the side of the bases.
Mm-hmm.
There, I think JT's gone through and painted those onto the tracks as well. That's like the Martian Iron Earth texture paint from Games Workshop. So looks like that extra dust being churned up alongside the by those tracks.
I like it because it looks like you're in the middle of a story. Like you're in the middle of the action taking place.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, very cool.
Extra narrative moment.
Yeah. When so JT's actually as well for the color scheme on these. See the bone sort of in the lower half of the torso. Yep. So there you've got the deeper red up above.
Okay.
This is the scheme that I think Games Workshop have done for their Mars Forge World. I myself have painted a Mars Forge World set of models, but it would have been I knew it was going to take me way too long to do all of this bone sort of color. So I just dry brushed mine silver.
Oh wow.
Darker silver and put a wash over it. So big props there to JT for carrying this all the way through. But yeah, they look great. Nice work, JT.
Yeah, no, they do look good.
Yeah.
Rob Jedi, also you were correct with the color.
Yep.
And Rob suggests would be to have the dirt more into the tracks and then dry brush the raised parts in the middle of the tracks back to metal.
Right. Yep.
That'd be cool.
That's another thing you can do too. So that would show that particularly when it's coming back to the top of the track, where it's the furthest from being in contact with the dust, is where you'd have that's where it might have shaken off.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If it's
like up here,
like a wet red soil.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe it's wet.
Yeah, if it's wet, if it's like a clay, it would stick. If you want it to be dry and dusty, you can have that show that it's sort of coming off by the time it comes back around.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Yeah, could be either way.
It looks great though. So awesome job, JT. Thanks for sharing. And I did actually get your photo this time. So
yes.
Apparently I didn't grab it last time. So I apologize, but we're talking about it now. So it's all good.
Looking good.
We have Roger Moore with the Monumental Monsters, the Wendigo, and Cerberus.
Yep.
By Funforge.
Yep. They look very cool. So
this Cerberus is a little.
I'm not sure how many models Roger's got left to paint from the Monumental set, but he's been doing a great job of getting through them. But yes, Rob, James Bond does paint, and he paints with us from beyond the grave. You remember the James Bond Roger Moore actually died, I think. But no, this is our own special Roger Moore who's been doing it.
I see.
So, yeah.
I see.
But yeah, no, these are looking good. I really, I'm particularly enjoying the Cerberus with that sort of the purplish, or the purple flesh there. Just something sort of unexpected. Looking very cool.
I agree with that. I liked the purple. Surprising color, but a good color. Yeah. Nonetheless.
Yeah. Oh, great. Nice work, Roger.
And then we had Stacy who posted
excellent.
Something that they had just finished.
Yeah. Yeah, this is very cool. This is from I think this is from Silver Tower. I think it's the character from the Warhammer Quest Silver Tower box set.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong on that, but yeah, I think Stacey's done a great job here. Love those skin tones.
They did a really good job on the skin tones.
Yeah. That guy is going to smash something with that hammer. But I also love the work on the thing to the right is a Griffhound. So it's like has the Griffin aspect of the eagle combined with a cat, a big cat, but it's just known as a Griffhound in the Age of Sigmar.
I would definitely want one as a pet if they were real.
Yeah. But blue tiger stripes on that gray fur there is very cool. Yeah, looks great, Stacey. Nice work.
Yeah, really nice. Did you talk about the blue glyphs?
I didn't mention those, no.
Okay. I wanted to mention them. I like them. They just add a little bit more. Because I think the shine, the silver, or excuse me, metallic is on the gold, but then also there's that metallic in the glyphs as well.
The base, yeah. Yeah.
Which I just think is a cool way to kind of play with the use of metallics. So
yeah. No, definitely. Looks good.
And that is all the minis that we had to look at.
Okay, cool.
For today.
Excellent.
Very nice.
Excellente. Thank you guys, everyone who posted. And if you're interested in posting or seeing your mini on next week's show, make sure you follow this link that I'm about to put in the chat. And there is a tab that says submit your mini. Click that, and then you'll be able to submit it for next week's show. So, yeah.
Cool. Another way to go.
We love seeing works in progress or finished projects or just different things that you're doing, terrain, that works as well.
Yep.
I have a question for everyone, though.
Yep.
So my brother is actually getting into miniature painting.
Excellent.
And which is fun. He has a really old War of the Ring board game, which was like
okay.
And so he's painting up some of those, but he also has like historic models that he's more interested in. And so it kind of goes back to our paintbrush question. Like, what I for his birthday, which is coming up, I want to buy him like a paint set and also some paintbrushes.
Okay.
And I know that we've talked before about like beginners paint sets. You can kind of go anywhere.
Yep.
But he is painting Lord of the Rings minis, so maybe that could help like narrow things down. And if you guys have like good paintbrush recommendations, if you have good paintbrush recommendations, please let me know, because I wanted to get him some nice paintbrushes.
See, I use cheap paintbrushes because whenever I kill them, which I do very quickly, but when I do that, then I can use them for dry brushing.
Right.
Really, they never die.
They never die.
Necromancer of paintbrushes. And if they get too crazy, I've cut them with scissors before in order to get the correct shape that I want.
Okay.
So I'm kind of lenient on.
You're partial towards your paint.
Yeah.
Yep. These two started off as the same paintbrush.
Oh wow.
So,
oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah.
When this one finally dies, will be replaced by this, and it'll be just worn down over time of dry brushing. But yeah. I'm always going to suggest, like, for detail work in particular, a Kalinsky Sable brush.
Okay.
There are quite a few companies that make them. Roundabout, my favorites are the Broken Toad, but you can get Winsor & Newton, Raphael, Artis Opus, I think, do a line of Kalinsky Sable brushes. Who else? Rosemary & Co. A few others. But yeah, so my take on the going with the cheap brush route. If you're like always churning through your brushes, your cheap brushes,
right?
There's kind of a point where you'll be trained enough to look after your sable brush, and buying one expensive sable brush will be cheaper in the long run than buying
10
dozens of dollar store brushes.
Gotcha.
So, but that's just me. And when does somebody sort of move to that point in their painting career? No idea.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, for the basic stuff, you might want to start off with the sort of the synthetic brushes. But yeah, keep an eye on as to when to move to the sable. You just get a lot of it snaps back to a point a lot better more often, and you get a good brush and you look after it. You can have it for years, depending on how many models you paint.
Right. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be painting as many models as you, Dave.
Yeah, I go through mine fairly quickly because I don't look after them as well as I should. But yeah, I also paint a lot of minis. So.
Lucafia was talking about a picture. He said, I found a mini I painted 40 years ago. Would that be of interest? Sure. Why not? Go ahead.
Definitely.
Someone else a while back posted up, it might have been Ryan Cook, posted a mini that was like 2 of the different ones. Rob says, I recommend Only the best of $5 sets of natural hair brushes from
AliExpress.
AliExpress. Very nice. I think a nice Army Painter has a nice starter set, I think called the Adventure set. That would be a good jump off point for the Lord of the Rings minis.
Yep.
That's a good point.
I just go to Michael's and touch everything and see what I think feels nice.
Yeah, I do that with sketchbooks.
Yep.
I'm like,
that's what
I like rubbing the
It has to be
paper.
the right texture. It has every artist has a different preference, and it has to be the right one.
Yeah.
Army Painter hobby starter set. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Very nice.
James said,
Nice.
oh, sorry.
Fine tip brushes are inexpensive, but I gotten to use my set yet. So I'll tell you how they work or where.
Yeah.
No problem.
And James suggests getting some brush cleaner to help him learn to take care of them. Good idea.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That is a good idea.
Definitely a good one. So, yes. I have my conditioning brush slip right here.
Nice. Also, Rob mentioned that Moobot is lying because Moobot in Twitch puts up a chat that says, "Hey, Dave licks his brush because it does this," and Rob said that it's lying. It's just because you like the taste
That is
of minis of the mini paint. Not. It's not because you need to tighten the tip of the brush.
no.
No. False.
It's totally because I like the taste.
We know.
It's how I get 50% of my hydration.
It's like a cat where you have to like give them things
Yep.
to help hydrate them.
Yep. Exactly.
I'm bad at this mixing thing.
Should we release you from that challenge?
Please release me. Please.
Okay, so as of next week, you're released.
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to next week then.
You got
I will.
35 minutes to go on to this week.
Yeah.
What you can achieve.
I will try and
Sorry
achieve.
about that. Hopefully, no
the
more
best.
dogs barking.
It's okay.
Not a problem.
It happens. Dogs are dogs. Dogs are dogs are dogs.
All good.
He has this big axe too. Betsy says, I have some Raphael Kolinsky brushes, but I still use my Army Painter brushes just as much. They are great too.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I've used when did I use the, I can't remember exactly when I used the Raphael 8404. I think that's the Kolinsky range. But definitely good. I think I stopped using them because my source, the place I was buying them from, sort of had trouble getting them in.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, what's the next one I'll try? So,
Thank you, everyone, who gave a suggestion. That is very helpful. I will be purchasing those sometime this month, within the next week or two.
One thing that I will point out as well is, so Winsor & Newton
Yes.
do a set of brushes. There's Winsor & Newton Series 7 is a name that you'll hear sort of thrown around quite a bit.
Okay.
They do 2 lines of Series 7 brushes.
Okay.
One of them it's just called Series 7. The other one's called Series 7 Miniature. So you might think it's designed for miniature painting.
But it's not.
But it's actually, they have shorter bristles. So the bristles are about half as long as their
Oh.
So fewer bristles, they're probably a little bit pointier, but they can't hold a lot of paint in the belly of the brush.
Okay.
So you got to keep going, keep refreshing all the time. But yeah, so if you're painting larger areas, they're not as good.
They're not particularly useful.
But that's what I would call the rookie mistake. Because the first time I ordered some Winsor & Newton Series 7, I was like, oh, the miniature brushes must be for miniature painting. Hey.
Wrong.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. At that point of the show.
Oh no.
Right, I forgot to get some water.
Go get some water.
Let's drink some paint water.
No. Go get some water. See, now I'm drinking because I'm like,
Do I have?
There it is.
I have like one sip of coffee left.
we gotta hydrate, guys. Everyone, hydrate
I'm like
now.
super focusing on these ice crystals.
Yeah.
Given my track record with crystals, not regretting it yet. I think I sent you a picture on Facebook of the axe before the crystals have been painted. But kind of what that is starting to look like with the silver and the contrast paints.
Cool. I am saving that now and getting that on making paper.
Since my daylight has gone away, and that's typically what makes any kind of color appear on the minis. So
Here we go.
Oh,
yeah, there we go. So that's looking a lot better than silver.
Yeah, I actually really love this effect. You're right. It looks like, hammered iron or something. Like it's very raw.
Yeah, and then it's I don't know how well it's really showing up in this, but you can see kind of that little bit of blue there, more towards the body of him.
Mm-hmm.
And so that I kind of have popping up where I would like to pretend it is reflected. And then my ice crystals I'm working on currently.
Here's a little closer picture of the blue.
Yeah. So the ice crystals on the bottom, I'm doing a very deep kind of color.
Okay.
So I did just in general, I put sky blue over that so I wouldn't be painting blues and stuff over black. And then I'm again going over with the contrast paints. Because in this instance, I just think that for settling into all the grooves and getting that deep contrast, but that I want to make it look like ice shards and crystals, that's going to work better. So I kind of just blobbed on some of that, and then I'm going back over with the sky blue for some really opaque kind of highlighting the shards of it, and then I'll probably go over the deepest part of those ice crystals once more so that you get that almost translucent look.
Okay, cool.
That you see with large chunks of ice. I guess
I like that.
Cool.
Yay! He's coming together.
I'll have something interesting to show instead of just being like, trust me, I'm painting.
I'm painting a thing. Don't worry, guys.
I'm painting it. I promise.
Some key says that axe is cool as ice.
Oh.
Hey, good stuff. Good stuff. Also, Josh Potter said, what if paint tastes like vegetables? Green is green beans, purple is beets, orange is carrots, brown is potatoes, red might be tomatoes, blue is corn, yellow is squash, etc.
Well, I don't like tomatoes.
Well, that would be very interesting. And that sounds a little like Thanksgiving.
It would. Yes.
sounds like baby food
Yep.
or something.
The kind of, I don't know. I'm not sure how I'd feel about that.
I don't think I would do that. No.
I'd still lick my brush, but
Be
maybe
like,
I wouldn't be hungry at dinner
you'd
time.
be like green bean. I don't know, green beans in your mouth. Well,
Yeah.
Not a green bean person.
I mean, I like green beans, but maybe I just don't want that taste like lingering. Chocolate, that can linger. Not green beans. Wash that down with water. Clean that out.
Nice. Cool.
Oh, and apparently JT said that interestingly, the Artis Opus brushes have the same deal as the
Okay.
Windsor
Series
ones.
S are the mini, Series S are the standard brushes. Okay,
Interesting
well, there we go. Cool.
Also, question for you, Dave.
Yep.
Any particular brush soap that you can suggest? I know that you showed us the Broken Toad.
There are 3 that I'm aware of. So Broken Toad is the one that I've got there.
Okay.
I think on my desk under this pile here, somewhere down there, I also have the Masters brush soap.
Okay.
Which is the one you'll be able to find in like in Michael's or AC Moore or wherever, like a hobby shop or an art shop. We'll have that. That'll typically be a container, same sort of size and shape, but it'll be like a bone tan color. With,
Yes,
brown.
that's the one that I'm familiar with.
Right. And I also know Games and Gears do a cube of brush soap. So it's like that sort of size. Yeah.
Cube.
A cube. So,
Cube.
yeah, and you just use it in exactly the same manner.
Nice.
So those are the ones that I know about. Otherwise, there probably are a couple of others available at art stores.
Right.
But yeah, those are the ones I'd be looking for. Oh, Sean Gleason says light brown would have to be turkey flavored. In that case, I'm in.
Oh, gosh.
Definitely.
And Rob says that the red tastes more like poison.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, yeah. Some key says maybe it's time for a scratch and sniff paint, too.
Oh, like the markers? Like those old markers. Yes, they smelled awful.
Terrible.
I remember the only ones that really kept the smell were like the licorice and the cherry.
Yeah. Yeah. And they never smelled. I don't
Boy,
know.
what a smell it was. Oh.
Nice.
And boy, oh boy, that was a strong smell. Do you ever do something where you're like, I wish I could Control Alt Delete in real life, or like Control Z?
All the time.
You can't really see it on my camera, but like I just painted the guy's head orange for some reason because I thought, oh, this will look cool over top of a green. But I like did a really bright orange.
You painted his hair orange?
Yeah, like I painted his whole head orange, but I should have painted it brown. Like I wanted it to be like a green undertone and then like a brown like an orangey brown wash to then go into the like the crack. He has like this. Okay. He has this like what's it called? Almost like gills on his face.
Okay.
But instead, you can see it in the light. It's just orange. just orange. Oh, so yeah. I'm gonna sit here a little while longer and
contemplate.
Let him dry. Maybe I should work on the base because I haven't worked on the base at all.
Yeah. Excellent.
And move away from his. Oh, and actually, there's this little green flame that he paints right here.
Oh, right. Okay.
I need to paint that. That's what I'm going to paint right now.
Yeah. Step away, move to another area.
Good. I have this issue where I'm like, I can make it better, but I can't. I'm not actually that good of a painter.
I have that issue every time we're on the show.
Good stuff.
Okie dokie.
Tell me in the chat when you've done something you didn't want to do painting related. A green flame. Yes, it is a green flame. So luckily that is good stuff.
Yeah, we comfortable with that? Yeah, we good.
Yeah.
Cool.
I can mix a green. I can mix a green.
Yep. As you were saying that, I was like, oh, why didn't you just use it? Oh, that's right. That's why you didn't just use it.
Yeah. Yeah, my mixing skills are not I'm not practiced in mixing. It's all good though. We're all learning.
Exactly.
So Dave, how are your minis coming along? Were you able to work on the blister thing?
Yep, I was. So I'll show you how that looks up close.
Ooh.
So you
Oh,
see
nice.
all the ooze dripping.
Yeah.
The big blisters on his chest there. He's got some oozing out of his eye, some out of the tank at the back, at the end of his plague spewer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so looking pretty
Nasty.
nasty. Yep. So the what I did actually after I painted all of these, all the trim on them black, I went and hit them with a coat of Munitorium varnish from Games Workshop, which is a slightly satin matte varnish, so that I wouldn't have paint rubbing off while I was painting the rest of it. But I did that before I painted the metallics, because if you put a matte varnish over metallics, you lose the sheen of them. And what it also means is that, so the model is varnished now. It's protected for gameplay kind of thing. But now over all of those sort of oozing bits and pieces, all those drips, I can paint a gloss varnish.
Mm-hmm.
Give it that disgusting kind of feel.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yes.
Kirk in the chat was wondering, Gretchen, could you share or post the colors, shades, and washes that you used on the wooden pole of the giant's axe?
On that, I can tell you right now what I used. I used, where did it go?
I'll put you on the...
I used Vallejo Smoke, but first I put down, where did it go? I only have a select handful of colors that I grabbed for all of this.
Did you use Flat Earth?
I did not. I think I used Heavy Skin Tone, actually. Because I wanted a base color, and then I was like, that's really light. I need something darker. But yeah, I used, it would have to have been, because that's the only other brown I have, Heavy Skin Tone, and then I put smoke over it. I'll probably go back through to get a little bit more detail in some of those naughty bits, and then highlight some of the ridges and stuff going on, because it looks like an actual tree that has been used. But yeah, that was it. I didn't do anything complicated. All the base colors on this thing, I've only been using 1 or 2 colors tops. Because I want them all to kind of be in the same, not color family, because they're not in the same color family, but I want them all to be connected.
Right.
That way, when I go to pick out these more detailed bits, the more detailed bits really shine. So same thing that I did for the darker leather, and then the lighter leather is just the heavy skin tone.
Okay. So you said it was Vallejo Smoke and heavy skin tone.
Heavy skin tone from Gamers.
Nice. Nice. Very cool.
Teamwork makes the dream work. I'm using 3 different brands of paint. But it's really cool, and the ice effect is actually coming along really, really well.
Yay!
So I'll do a little bit of that as soon as I'm done with finishing up putting on some of the lighter highlights. But I
Very
wanted to focus after I got those base colors. I wanted to get at least one super cool thing painted this episode, since last episode just kind of was getting all the important bits down.
Oops, sorry. I don't know if you heard that.
Cool. Excellent. I'm just going to quickly show you this guy. He has a the model has a flail there. So he has the got a little nurgling down on the ground there, but one of the flail balls
is a nurgle.
It's nurgling hanging on there. See if you can
help me. Yeah, I can see him.
He's grinning, and I want sort of bright teeth.
Yeah.
He's grinning, his tongue's lolling out. But
yes, yeah. Rob says that's so cute.
But I had fun with that sort of the spherical shape.
Oh, nice.
You can see the highlights at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nurgling just there. And then the shading all the way down underneath him. So you've very definitely got that sort of that volume sort of in there with the paint, the shading. But, yeah, definitely looking good. So now I'm actually at the point with those three that I've been working on to finish them up with that gloss varnish.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. Excellent.
Damon says, nice work, boss.
Hey, Damon. Yay. From Montana.
Oh. Hello.
Hello, Damon.
Hello to Damon. Hello.
So definitely go.
What do people say in Montana? I do not know.
Well, they don't speak with that accent.
I know.
Not at
but
all.
I don't know.
They might have been like in Red Dawn or something like that. After they moved, like when they all landed. Right.
Yeah.
Was Red Dawn? I think Red Dawn was set in Colorado, wasn't it? Or was it?
Yeah, I don't think it was Montana. It was definitely.
I don't know. Yeah. Excellent.
Disgustingly cute. +1 to strength.
Exactly. It is very cool. This is so these ones are from the Warhammer, the Space Marine Heroes Series 3 set. That,
okay.
Available. These are ones that
yeah, they've been having. I was gonna say something else. Go ahead.
Okay, no worries. I was gonna say that the series, the Space Marine Heroes sets that Games Workshop's been doing, they had sort of initially started them to kind of add something else to the Japanese market and present them in a way that the Japanese like to buy.
Right.
Yeah. So the first three sets that they've done, they released them in Japan first, and actually, Damon Drescher was the one who he originally bought a set from Japan, and then I bought a set from him last year, and then like 2 months later they were released in the US.
Oh wow!
But this set that I'm painting for my friend Brian, these were from the ones he purchased in the US. Gotcha. But they were basically done as a blind buy. Originally done in Japan as a blind buy. By the time we get to like this series in the US, if you bought 6 from a sleeve, they came in sleeves of 6.
Okay.
If you bought a sleeve, you would get one of all of them, because we don't like to blind buy. We like what we're buying. One of everything, please. We don't want to have to go through the trouble of collecting. But
blind buy, what is this nonsense?
My daughters love blind buys. It's crazy.
Oh, I love honestly, I love blind buys too. Like, what was I? Oh yeah, there was like a period of time where I was trying to like get these different Marvel characters, and I kept getting the Winter Soldier, and then the this is when Captain America and the Winter Soldier came out. So I kept getting the Winter Soldier and then the other evil character in that movie, and I just was like, this is so annoying. But that's what blind buys are.
Excellent. Yep.
You just don't. Yes, collecting all the Space Marines. It's good stuff.
Every single one. But yeah, it is a funny sort of thing. But no, they're very cool. The Plague Marines have got so much character to them normally, but these ones from the Space Marine Hero set are just like dialed up.
Nice.
To 11. As far as how much character they've got. They're definitely cool. This one here, we're working on him next, has so he's throwing a grenade and he's pulled the pin there.
Oh, okay.
But on the ground, and then he has like more grenades in his chest, and he's got more hanging from his backpack there. So this is your grenadier.
Okay.
But his, let's see if I can get it there. His Nurgling is also playing with grenades and has like a pin from a grenade hanging from one of his horns.
There you go.
I think in the back of the base, he's got like there are more grenades just
on the ground.
So it's like, I don't want this guy to stand around too long.
No.
He needs to
so
move.
he's in motion.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely cool stuff. Fun additional character, that kind of thing. This guy. So the standard bearer.
Yeah.
His little Nurgling that he has up there.
He's just hanging out.
He's hanging out. Got his head stuck through the.
Oh, there you go. I saw him.
Yep. His head stuck through that.
That's funny.
Yeah, definitely good stuff.
And then the terrible octopus, or like whatever he is, tentacle creature that just fills his.
They're looking cool.
Yes, once you pull the pin on Mr. Grenade, he is no longer your friend.
Important to know.
You need to get rid of him as quickly as possible.
Also, Kirk said, Dave, loving your Plaque Marines. Nice development so far, looking fiendish and brilliant.
Thank you.
Looking pretty good.
Yeah. These are some I'm painting for on commission, and I've painted, how many have I painted already? I've probably painted like 70 or 80 Marines in this scheme, like Plague Marines in this scheme for this client. So
wow.
Yeah. Fortunately, I've taken photos of them as well. So when I was like, oh, how did I treat that area? I can go back and have a look at them. And oh yeah, that's right.
What did I do?
What did I do? What did I do? Oh, I might show you some of these as well.
Oh, okay.
He also got me to paint some of the Yellowpox infected from the Rogue Trader set.
Nice.
Crazy big fly.
Wow.
With, maggots on the back. Disgusting.
Oh no, I'm realizing that this guy, I couldn't see it because of the black primer, but he's actually standing on a pile of, he has the like heroic, like the standard like knee on a pile of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean a foot on a pile of stuff, but it's all skulls.
Awesome.
It's just a pile of skulls. So like I originally was like dabbing it in gray thinking that it was stones.
Well, if you do them as gray skulls, they get like charred.
Oh, there we go.
So
okay.
If you want to keep them,
I'm liking this. I'm liking this story that we're discovering. But yeah, it's literally just all skulls. I was like, oh wow, this is a bit darker than I was expecting. But I don't think I should, like, his name is Arkin the Cruel, so I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be butterflies and puppies.
Nah.
No.
Or apparently just stones. Yeah, is it the Captain Morgan pose? Is that what they call it? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I was thinking it, but I wasn't gonna say it.
Okay.
So the three of the different things that you can find. I think there's one or two more. There's not wearing a helmet.
Okay.
If the rest of the army that you're part of is wearing a helmet, so when you take the helmet off, it means you're a character.
Right.
It's just like a main character or an actor, big
in
name
a movie.
Anything like Sylvester Stallone as Dredd
Yes.
taking his helmet off. Right.
Right.
Crazy. But so there's that. There's pointing. So when you're pointing, that means that you're telling people where to go. So obviously you're in command.
Right.
Tell them where to go. And the other one is foot up on rock.
Ding.
So if you have somebody that doesn't have a helmet on, is pointing, and has a foot up on a rock, King, Supreme Commander.
Supreme Epic Commander of the highest rank.
Yeah, they have the Riker pose.
Yeah.
There.
Leona, I sent you a picture of the
Oh.
ice.
Cool. Thank
Because
you.
that
Oh
it's turning
my gosh, it looks
Oh, wow.
amazing.
Yeah, that's looking awesome.
so much better than the last time I tried to do crystals. I don't know what happened.
It's okay.
So
We live and we learn. So that is the axe in real life, and then
with better lighting.
bing.
Yeah.
It's amazing what being in person will do.
Yeah. Wow, this looks awesome.
Yeah, so that's with a mix of contrast paints and Vallejo paints.
Cool.
So did a base coat of the sky blue, and then I used the Achillean green and was a little heavy-handed with that, but I think it did a really good job at catching that kind of like translucent feel of very solid ice.
Yep.
So, and then of course that'll blend in a little bit with the snow that will be added, but this is really going to be one of those things that I want to be really detailed as opposed to like all of the other things.
I think
Right.
the frosting you've got along the sort of the edges of those ice spikes
Mm-hmm.
up there. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really helping to sell everything else as well.
Yeah, I feel like that's what happens when you scratch ice, right? Right.
Yep.
I'm going to
Yep.
say so.
Yeah, definitely. When you get that little ice chips.
Mm-hmm.
No, it looks great.
Yeah, that looks awesome, Gretchen.
Yeah.
Woo! He's coming together.
He will be beautiful.
He's your frostbitten giant.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that looks great. Josh had said about my mini is that because he's a firemancer, he burns things with his green flame. But he would be likely standing on a pile. So he would likely be standing on a pile of charred skulls, which does make sense. But they would be skulls because cool. Yes, it's true. There are many, many of them. You can't really see it, but basically this entire part here, all skulls, just all skulls. Yeah.
Cool.
Looks awesome, Gretchen. Impressive axe. Yes.
Yep.
Very, very lovely.
One of the things that you can do with those skulls is if you want to keep them gray, but you can mix a little bit of a bone color, like an ivory or something like that,
Okay.
into the dark gray,
Okay.
just for the final highlights, like on the orbitals and that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, give them a really good feel.
I'll do that next week when I can find an ivory.
Yeah.
I have the ivory.
And I don't have to mix an ivory.
Yes, you don't want to do that.
Luckily, my guy's orange head has, kind of, here, I'll zoom up on myself. It's dried now, so I'll be painting over it. It doesn't look as orange as it did
Okay.
like 10 minutes ago.
Cool.
So that's kind of nice. I'll probably go back in, but like his head is now a different color than the rest of his body. So
Right.
there's that.
Excellent.
That we have to deal with. So we are coming to the end of our show, actually, amazingly. It's been fun painting with everybody, chatting, talking about, books and different stuff. I know, boo, Dave's almost said. We've had a great time just enjoying each other's company. I wanted to give Dave the floor to talk a little bit more about your Kickstarter. If you wanted to mention that for people who maybe didn't catch it in the beginning.
So yes, I have a Kickstarter running at the moment to fund a new series of books called The Art Of. So it is about miniatures art because that's what I know about. It's what I love, what I'm passionate about. I'm working with 5 different artists to create 3 different books. Leona's popped a link in the chat just then, so you have a chance, you can check that out. But yeah, we are funded. We're at actually during the stream, we have crossed the next stretch goal. So we now everybody who backs is going to get 3 free tutorials from.
Woohoo!
But yeah, lots of cool stuff. So that's our 9th stretch goal. I think we're past. So definitely cool. This one is at 60,000, and it is a set of art. No, 60,000. What's on? I think it's a set of art cards from Arnold.
Okay.
From Arnold,
Nice.
which is very cool. And then, I'll tell everybody what the 60. I think it's 66,000
exclusive. Live exclusive.
It's because I haven't shown it yet to anybody. It's live exclusive. It's going to be. We're going to go with silver foil on the logos on the cover, which is super cool.
Very cool.
I've never done a book with silver foil before. This is the time to try it.
Yes.
Fantastic. The books have got it's like a dark, almost black cover, and the silver is going to stand out. It's going to pop really nicely from those. So.
Woo!
Definitely cool. So I'm excited about reaching that one. Yeah, looking good. But yeah, please check it out. If you like it, back it. If you don't like it, that's cool too.
Share it with your friends because they'll definitely like it.
Well, either way, share it with your friends.
Yeah.
Share it with everybody. But yeah, definitely cool. We'll only be talking about it for another 3 weeks, so get in now.
Get in now before it's too late.
Too late. I say 3 weeks. I mean another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Really what we're talking about. But no, definitely cool. And thank you to everybody who is in the chat or who watches the show who has already backed. So.
Yeah. Thanks for helping make that part of a reality.
Yep.
It's been really fun to see that project come a week later. We're like, whoa, you did it. Yay. Keep moving forward and get all those stretch goals.
Yep.
Awesome.
Next stretch goal, Dave will personally deliver all 3 books to you. Like maybe the person who crosses that goal, the pledges that gets us over that, possibly, but not to everybody.
You could be like miniature Santa.
That would be awesome. Cool. That would be.
Instead of milk and cookies, people would leave you paintbrushes and hard brown.
Charred brown, yeah.
Titty tin.
I just started breaking into their houses.
Yeah.
Eat their cookies, drink their milk, and leave books behind.
You're like, here you are. And you're like, yay! Dave Taylor's been here.
Mary Taylormas.
Mary Taylormas. Mary Taylormas.
Wait, are you saying because of my belly? I love that.
No.
That's cool. But yeah. So,
yay. So yeah, I put the link in the chat if you guys want to check out that project. Make sure you're following it. If you're watching this after we're live, make sure you still check out that project. And I'll make sure that the link is in the description and things like that. So thank you to everyone who has been joining us tonight. It's been fun. We've been chatting. We all made pretty good progress, I think, on our minis. Which is nice. We got some real painting done, I think. Which is awesome. So we will be here next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're interested in having us talk about your mini on the show, make sure that you look at the link that I just put into the chat. Yep. There's a button that says submit your minis. Make sure you check that out and post there. And then we'll talk about your mini next week. So we will see you guys all next week. Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.